I need a box. Okay, we're gonna start over. I gotta share this everywhere, so we're gonna actually start the training in just a couple of minutes. Will you get me like 3 or 4 boxes so they can be higher? It needs to be like this much higher.
Oh,
okay. Because I'm gonna stand up and do this. And then ask the kids to get the stuff off the printer. All right. Okay, I apologize for the false start. Let me get this going. And I'm gonna share it right now. Okay. Hi, you guys. Sorry. I prepared, I promise, but you know how it's a little wild when you're... So, let me get this just... Hey! Okay, let me share this real quick. And then I'll teach you guys everything. I have all kinds of supplies here. I've got a PDF here we're going to use. There. Let's see. Okay, give me just a second to share and we will begin. I'll do this as fast as I can. Okay, everybody stay. Go ahead and share with your teams. Let's see here. We just put it on 4G. We should be good. Okay. All right. I do have a PDF I created. When this is over, I can email everybody. So if you guys want to take a second while I'm sharing, and I'm going to pin a web address that you can go to and request the PDF, because that's where you don't have to take a bajillion notes. You can just take some decent notes, okay? All right. Okay.com/. Okay. All right, I'm a little worried about my computer, but we won't be using my computer for much of this. So let me pin the comment here. Oh, no, I gotta find my comment before it disappears. There we go. Okay, so if you guys, yeah, okay. All right, he's getting this set up, guys. We're using our Life of the Party boxes. Okay. All right. Everybody can say hi to each other. Tell each other where you're from. That's kind of fun. And then I got to just share to a couple of places, and then we'll begin. Okay, I'll try to be careful. All right. Okay, thanks for being here, you guys. All right, I can't look at the comments yet. I'm going to go ahead and update in the event. Okay, I hit post. All right. Say where you're from if you want. I have 2 giant papers like this that you guys can print. Really, really good notes. We go get what's off the printer, please.
Which printer?
Downstairs. Okay. And then I just have to share with my team and with my text alert people, and we will begin. Not my text alerts, but my many chat people. Right. Glad you guys are here. Appreciate you. Hopefully you'll learn something cool. I have never written down what I do day to day, and it was really, I don't know if it was eye-opening, but it was really nice to have it all on paper. I think you guys are gonna love it. Let me tell you guys a little story while I'm sharing, because this is kind of funny, I think. Did it share? No. It didn't. Good, kind of good. And then I need to print one more thing. Okay. In fact, I'll hand you the computer in a sec. This is perfect. here's our barcodes for later. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna learn how I organize for the first half. And this is how I did it all before barcodes. Then I'm gonna teach how to implement barcodes in part of it. So those of you that don't care about the barcodes, you won't need to stay, okay? So we're gonna do 2 sections of video. All right, so just sharing the video here. Live training. And then the last place is my team. Okay. Jason, will you print? I've got 2, I'll show you where they are, and I just need you to print new copies of this and the other one, okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Where's my team? Right there. Okay. All right, we're going to start. Okay, Jason, on my computer right here. This blue and this blue, 2 different docs. Will you just print them each? Yeah. Okay, all right, you guys. So this is way high because I'm doing it horizontal, but it should work. Share with your friends if you want. I just think it's silly to reinvent the wheel, so I'd like to share my ideas. This is totally free. Learn whatever you'd like to. Kind of crooked, it's gonna bug me. I don't dare to touch it. Okay, all right, hi. I hope you guys are excited to learn. So let me give you, oh, I'm gonna need that when you're finished. So let me give you guys a little bit of background real quick. I'm a Maven A-lister in Paparazzi. I've been doing this for 7.5 years. Every single day I love it. I never get sick of it. And what keeps me going is to try to come up with ideas like what I'm going to teach you. Because for me, if I do the same thing every day, I get bored. So I do this, I create ideas to keep myself excited and passionate about the business. I went to college to be a teacher, kind of. But in the middle of that, I got a lab degree because I enjoy teaching, but I got a lab degree so that I could teach medical. And the quick little story I was going to tell you, I was doing a clinical in the lab at a real hospital, and I was bored. And I don't know if I told the lady directly, but she knew I was bored. So she said, okay, if you're bored, then I want you to go through all our procedure manuals and start rewriting them. And I was like, whatever, yuck. I was kind of mad at myself for telling her that I was bored. The good news is I've had practice. And that's what this is. It's like a procedure manual for everything I'm going to show you guys. So it's kind of amazing, I think. So my purpose in organizing is to have it be teachable. So I actually, as bad as I want to, I don't buy stuff at yard sales because they are things that I can't teach my team to get. I also try not to buy very many supplies because again, I don't want people to be limited on what they can get. So I try really, really, really hard to practice what I preach until thanks. Only use things that I can get my hands on and that everybody can get their hands on. If any of you guys have any like really big questions, keep writing them until I answer you. But at the end, we'll do a Q&A. What are you telling me? Don't bump them? Okay. Do you know how to do Google Keep? Oh, I found it. I'm glad you found it. I've never heard of it. Okay. I made notes in my Google Keep account, so I just want to make sure I cover everything. Okay. Send invite. Old. Okay. Let me remind you, the pinned post is a PDF. Oh, I actually have, oh yeah, okay. The pinned post is a PDF request. So it'll have a form you guys can fill out, and then I will email you guys both PDF links so you can print them, okay? And there's one called Paparazzi Organizing Tips, and there's one called Paparazzi Barcode Tips, okay? And you can choose, again, like I said, the barcode thing is optional. That will be the second half of this training. I couldn't figure out how to be automatic, so I'll just have to send them to you guys tonight or tomorrow, but they are made ready to go. Okay, I told you how long I've been doing the business. I hit Paparazzi Diamond Life of the Party level last year, And this year I will be hitting black diamond right at the end of June 30th probably, all while doing this manual method of organizing. So I know there's software out there everybody wants to maybe try, but I tried them. I didn't love them enough to keep using them. Also, they cost money. So I came up with I keep using my own system, and it works really well. And it works in mass quantities. So if you sell a ton of jewelry like I do, it'll still work. If you sell a little bit of jewelry, it'll still work, because I've been doing this for 2.5 years on Facebook Live with my same method. Okay, thanks you guys, you're all so nice. Also, I hit Bling Boss in April, end of April, which is really cool. And I've got an awesome team. They have helped me get to where I am, and they help motivate me because I am always trying to teach from experience. And so it keeps me going. Let me give you a little bit of statistics on the time and money you can save doing some of these things. Again, this is just my way. Doesn't mean it's the best way, but it's my favorite way to do organizing. And you could do all of it, none of it, or some of it. It's up to you. I only buy materials I can reuse over and over. I do things that save time a lot. So for example, when I buy my shipping packages, I don't have like little envelopes, big envelopes, giant envelopes. It's all uniform systems, so I don't have to like think or use my brain while I work. That way it goes quick. With time, I have figured out, this is some advice to you guys, and this might help you a lot. When you are working your business, come up with a schedule and stick to it. And that's not just your live schedule, that is your work schedule. So for me, for the longest time, my schedule was 3 hours per day. So when I was working 3 hours per day, like packaging orders, gathering jewelry, etc., when I could no longer do it in 3 hours, that is when I hired an assistant. So instead of working longer, I just paid somebody to help me. So my schedule for selling is truly 3 hours a day, except the last 2 months with all these experiments I've tried. But my regular, because we're back to normal again, we're actually down to 2 hours a day because I have 2 assistants. So it's really, really cool that you can pick your schedule, and then if you need more time, it's almost better to pay for help because your time is really valuable. And something that I won't do is stay up all night invoicing. And so I've tried to figure out a way to make this work. If you guys are interested in seeing my 3-hour schedule, I have my YouTube channel, and there's some real-time videos on there of a full week of work. So if you guys want to see that, you're welcome to. And that full week of work uses this entire organizing that I'm going to show you. Something else, if you guys are curious, on Monday nights, I do my normal live jewelry sales. This coming Monday, I'm going to be doing a fundraiser for foster children. I learned a whole bunch about it, and I'll talk about it more on Monday, but I'm going to be donating all my profits. That way, if you guys want to come, I'm not like making a profit off you. If you guys want to come watch me use the barcodes, come watch. It would be totally great. Participate if you want, or not, whatever. But I will be using my same system, which I always do, on camera Monday. So if you guys want to watch me actually do it, you can. So this is so cool. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. Okay, you guys ready? So let me go through the first thing, which is a supply list. Now, this does not include, this is organizing supply list, okay? This does not include like lighting and numbers and a camera. This is just my organizing stuff. Okay, hopefully this works. In fact, let me open my Facebook screen just to make sure it doesn't freeze. I'll just keep it going. Okay, I'm on my 4G. It should be really reliable. Okay, so here are the supplies that you might want to get. This is already listed. I just want to explain what they mean. This will be on the PDF, okay? Sharpies and pens, of course, but black Sharpies. Packing tape, because what I'm going to suggest you guys do is tape your paparazzi boxes up like this, okay? I every single big box I get, I tape them so they're tall. See this packing tape right here? We just put a piece on each corner, and then we have this big hollow box that holds all our stuff. Now, if you don't do mass production, like me, if you're doing smaller scale, you can use the 12 by 12 boxes. It'll still work. You can still do all this stuff, okay? So that's a 12 by 12. This is so fun. Okay, so save your boxes. That's what I'm trying to tell you, okay? Save your boxes, don't throw them away. I recycle mine now because I order so much, but I use these a lot. I probably have about 20, I probably have about 40 or 50 rotating boxes, and I'll explain why. Ziploc baggies, and just so you know, like the cheapy baggies are, they like rip at the top, but you're gonna need baggies. Let me show you, just not even gallon baggies, just little baggies, okay? Sometimes the cheap ones rip up here, so, but you're gonna need baggies. Heavy duty page covers. I tried to buy cheap page covers before, and they are terrible. These I reuse a million times over. So these are the page covers. They sell them like at Costco and Sam's in a 200 pack. White craft envelopes. Write down these dimensions or else get the PDF. This is what I use for my envelopes. These are bubbles, bubble wrap, and they're white because we're going to be writing the names up here. And these are 8.5 by 12. Okay. Yeah, this is totally recorded, you guys. PVC envelopes. When I mail, okay, hold on. I brought all my stuff in here. When I mail the orders, these get a little messy because we scribble names and stuff on here. And so then we put them inside a cute envelope. And these together cost the same as like a pink bubble wrap. So my personal preference is to use these because I can write on them and maybe they look messy, but the finished product is pretty. So they slide right inside, okay? This is a 10 by 13. If the video's messed up for you guys, go out and come back in. On my end, it's working okay. Okay, so 8.5 by 12, 10 by 13. I buy these, by the way, from a seller named THREERB, 3RB on eBay. But they sell them all over the world. It's just that's the price I've found that I like. The other thing you can do is save all your bubble wrap from your orders. Does this look familiar? So you can actually ship in this, and I'll just show you my trick really quick. Well, I'll show you in a minute because it's in my list. So save all your bubble wrap. Save the cardboard flaps. So let me show you one of my organizing. So one of my tips I'm going to show you guys is to cut the flaps off of boxes, and then you have this shallow box. And I'll show you in a minute why, but when you cut the flaps off, save them, because what I use the flaps for is to fold around like a cuff bracelet so it doesn't get damaged in the mail. Any delicate jewelry you can fold inside the cardboard flap and then put it in your bubble envelope. The white envelopes get reused. So let me show you. So let's say this person was in my list and they canceled their order, or I was able to ship in a free bubble wrap. Then I just scribble out their name and use it again. I write another name under here. So we reuse these until they actually get shipped. We don't throw anything away. And then a scale. Oh, something else. If you put like more than 3 names on here, it gets really messy. We just cut it right here, and then you can still ship in this bottom half of the envelope. Because again, it's gonna be covered by the cute envelope, so nobody cares. I tried using bubble wrap alone with tape, and it's just too crazy, and so I use it within the PVC envelope. Okay, those are the supplies. So any really important questions about supplies, tell me now. All right, so here is what I do. This is how I rotate my jewelry, okay? And there's some long-term storage and some additional storage I'll cover in a little bit, okay? New order. Okay, so from the beginning, you have to place an order, right? You can't have jewelry unless you buy jewelry. So you have an order come to you. And then the first thing you need to do, so this is an order I got the other day. First thing you need to do is find your paper inside. Now I have a big stack of stuff. You find your paper. Thanks. This is the one I'm considering bringing back with my black diamond. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yay! I hope so. So your order comes with these. So the first thing I do is I check the jewelry. And so we will dump out the box, put them in piles of like items, and then check them off. Just the fact that they are all there or not. And what I often do is if there's one missing, I'll put a -1 next to it. But then like the order tomorrow might have an extra one. And if it comes out even, I don't call Paparazzi. Because for me, it's just, I don't have to, I save time. I don't have to call them. So I notate if it's missing something and I hold on to them. I've got a couple from like 3 months ago, but then tomorrow I might get a couple extra pieces and they'll cancel out. Okay, so that's how I like to check my inventory jewelry. If anything's crazy off, I will call them. The scale, I forgot to show you guys. Where did we put it? Let me find it. Oh, here it is. So a scale, and I have this on the handout. The scale when you ship at home, I hope none of you guys are going to the post office because you don't need to. You will save a ton of time and you'll save money actually by not going to the post office. This is a post office scale. I don't even know if they sell them anymore, but as long as it weighs ounces and goes up to 3 or 4 pounds, then you're fine. And so like a kitchen scale would work perfectly. And just as a quick tip, anything that is 15.9 ounces and lower, you're gonna ship first class. And anything that's 1 pound or higher, you'll ship priority. It all comes with tracking for free in PayPal. I will not use anything but PayPal just because it's very streamlined and it's also popular. And so people trust it. Okay, so any kind of scale that holds ounces up to 2 or 3 pounds. Let's see, I'm following my little list. Okay, so when you get your order and you've put like items together, then you need to prepare them for live. Okay, so this is what I do. I show all my new jewelry on live first. That's where the cycle begins. So I have some prepared jewelry right here, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So this is from an old order, but what I do is, here's like items. This is a bracelet that I have 3 of. So what I do is I open one of them. Oh, I have 2 of them. I open one, I keep the package, and there's the other one. Okay, so these are together physically in this page cover. And they're in a page cover because the baggie's not big enough. But typically I put necklaces in page covers and everything else in baggies. So let me show you another one. Oh, this is my bracelet box. This isn't going to help you. That's okay. So here's another one that was too big for a baggie. So there were 3 of these gold bracelets. So we have 1, 2, and then number 3 is out of the package. The reason it's out of the package is because when I go live, I can instantly show the jewelry. I don't have to open it. That's a big, big, big deal, because when I first started, I would open it on camera, and you know, people think that's really loud. Okay, so let me show you a baggie. Necklaces are the same. The necklaces fit great, and I just drop it right in, and then you can pull it straight out. They only get tangled once a month, but if you do think you have a necklace that might get tangled, just keep it inside the inner bag. And then for bracelets, this is a bracelet baggie. So I have a whole bunch here, and I have one opened, and then I've got an empty baggie. So do you guys get it? Okay. I have an organizing video that's like really casual. Some of you guys have learned this before. Here's rings. I have one of these opened and the rest are in here. Now I don't write the quantity. I don't need to. I can physically count them when I'm live. So I'm saving steps here, okay? So like if I check my order and there's something missing, I only need to notate it for my mind's sake so I can tell Paparazzi. But as far as selling them, I don't need to like write it down. Unless there's like 50, I would write 50 because I don't want to sit and count 50 on camera. But for any that's like 20 or less, I usually just count them while we're live. Earrings, the only ones I don't pre-open are fringe because I don't want this stuff to get ruined. Here's a single item. This should be in a baggie, so I would open it, take it out, and then I would get this item with the baggie, well, with the bag itself, and then I would put it in here. So whether you have singles or multiples, you still open it, okay? And then I'm gonna seal it, because then all I need to do is bloop and pull it out, and it's not loud. Baggies are quieter. So I use all sandwich size Ziplocs and page covers. I don't use random anything. I do have some old Ziplocs from my old organizing because I like to reuse stuff, but typically I just use page covers and stuff. So hopefully that makes sense. So that, after you do that, you're gonna have a prepared box of live jewelry. So you get this whole box, and sometimes I have like 4 boxes because I open all my jewelry on Mondays. So however you want to do it, you get your big box of live jewelry and you get a Post-it note and you write live, because now you know it's ready. So you can open jewelry anytime, and I invoice weekly, but this system still works if you like go live every day and invoice every day. So it's kind of up to you. Let's see. So my new order example, we don't need anymore. Let me just move these things out of the way. Okay. As I open jewelry from Paparazzi, if I have something that's fixable, and I usually, because I open it while I'm opening my order, I'll see it right away. So I'll just put a Post-it inside and put fix. And then I put it along with all the other stuff that I'm gonna sell if this is the same item. And then before I package it, I just fix it. Or you can fix it in the moment, whatever you have time to do. Because sometimes I don't fix it until I sell it. So that could be in a year. It doesn't, we don't know. Okay, I'm just glancing. I hope I don't miss any really, really important questions. Okay, so the other thing I like to do is I order singles sometimes. So just if you guys don't know this trick already, if you sell in multiples, you will sell more. So selling like a bunch of this bracelet gives 2 people the chance to buy, and you only have to talk about it once. There's others like this one. I have like 8 of these. So I talk about it once and 8 people might be able to buy it. Okay. Let's see. I need to like calm down. This is fun. Okay, so I do set aside, I personally set aside my singles. I don't like to use the time on video to sell singles. And so I save my singles for an album. So when I'm bagging the jewelry and putting it in the live box, I have another box called singles ready for photos that I will be putting in my album. So when you look at, I'm gonna give you guys a tour of my office when we're done. So I have a section where all my live boxes are always waiting to go. And then I have a little box called singles that are always waiting for photographs. Okay, so now we move on to the live show. When you go live, the first thing you do is show the live jewelry. So you just get the box that you've prepared for live, that's labeled live, and that's what you work from. Then you get an empty box. You guys who buy from me have seen this. You get an empty box you have prepared, okay? And this is where you put all the jewelry after you show it. So let's pretend I show this piece of jewelry and nobody buys it. I'm gonna put it in here, and that is my future get ready for albums box, okay? So you show your pieces and you put your unsold items in the box. Now, with barcodes, it's a little different, and I'll explain. But when you're selling on live, I like to bag my jewelry while I sell. So let's play a little game here. The scanner will be the second half of the video. This is gonna be kind of long, so I'll just go through the motions, and then if you guys want to watch, I am recording it. So let's pretend I have a pen in here. So I was telling you before, you can scratch out a used envelope if you need to. Okay, so let's pretend that Lisa Abercrombie bought one of those gold bracelets. Okay, so I would write my name on here. Now I have an envelope. I mean, that's my pretend customer, okay? Now I have an envelope, and my customer claimed this gold bracelet. So I'm gonna put the bracelet inside physically, so I don't have to do it later. And I put all the wrapped ones in first. I save the unwrapped one for last, because if the unwrapped one doesn't sell, it's ready for live later, okay? So I put it in here, and then I get another empty box. Okay, get another empty box, and these fit in here perfectly like this, okay? So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna end up with all my customers' jewelry in here. So here's all my fake people. And it's gonna be alphabetized by first name, okay? Alphabetized by Facebook, first name. And then I can thumb through it and put it away. It's no biggie. So each box holds about 40, not really 40, maybe 30 envelopes, depending on how full they are. These envelopes hold a ton. I can usually get about 30 pieces in here. If I need more, I just create envelope number 2 with a priority shipping envelope. Having a second priority shipping envelope shows me that they have so much jewelry to look for both envelopes when I mail it, okay? So this can be done alone. I did this alone forever, and then I started getting help, and my mom would come and she would bag the jewelry for me. So I would be live and I would show this cute bracelet, ask who would want it, tell them what number it is, and then I hand this to my mom. Here, this belongs to Lisa Abercrombie. Okay, so far so good. It's totally fine if you can't stay, because I know it's going to be a little long, but it is recorded. So you bag the jewelry as you go. Then, let's say one of these sold, and this did not. I'm going to leave it like this. I'm not going to do anything with this, and I'm going to put it in my box of unsold items. Okay? So far, so good. If you are live and you run out of live jewelry to show, which can happen because I have a ton and I even run out, or if some people do a re-show, they'll re-show the stuff from the beginning of the video or from earlier that week. But if you run out of jewelry, start taking requests from what I call the color storage, okay? So there's 2 kinds of storage, and then there's your jewelry in action. Your jewelry in action is your live jewelry that you've prepared, and then your albums that I'm going to teach you about. And then you have your color storage and your long-term storage. So, color storage. This is pretty simple. Where did my box go? I like to use, you guys have seen those cubbies I use, and I'll show you a thing later. They're about $70 on Amazon. If you look up Langria 20, Langria 20, there's cubbies they sell. But you know what? You can just stack them up in your hallway. You can do whatever you need to. But having this storage is intentional, because the color storage is stuff that people haven't seen for a while. So what happens is I have a cubby for each color, and I put necklaces in the large 12 by 12 box. And then I have these, or you can use a smaller paparazzi box, and I put earrings in one and necklaces in one. Before I used to have this much jewelry, I actually put cardboard dividers in here and did the same thing. And then I put rings in here. Okay. I typically show about, I figured this out the other day, about 150 items in 4 hours. That's what my average is, 150 items in 4 hours. Everybody's different though. So you'll just have to kind of wing it and see. And just remember, if you're doing okay on your videos, buy more jewelry, buy more quantities, because that helps you grow. If you don't buy more jewelry, you're not going to grow. Okay, so the color storage, however you decide to do it. I used to have mine all in giant Ziploc baggies. It doesn't even matter. The color storage is there for when you run out of jewelry and people say, hey, do you have any orange necklaces? And then you can go get some and show them on live video. If somebody asks me, do you have the something or other? I only look in my color storage. I don't look in my long-term storage because it's too difficult to find for one piece of jewelry. And that's honest, but my time is valuable. And so for me, that works pretty well. And it keeps your jewelry fresh because this cycling of jewelry is going to help keep your customers excited. And I don't know if, not all of you guys shop from me, but those of you who do will tell people that my albums are really good. And it's because I have a huge variety of jewelry. And I will tell you about albums in a second. I'm so glad this is helping you guys. That's cool. Okay, so if you run out of jewelry on live, take requests and do color jewelry from your color storage boxes, okay? So then, when your live is over, at some point, you're going to be posting an album of your leftover jewelry. And you're going to be posting another album of whatever jewelry you want. If you're not doing albums, you're missing out. I sell about 2/3 of my jewelry in albums, not even on live. And if I were to go live more and double my lives and double my albums, I could really probably sell twice as much because it has to do with exposure and how much you guys show. So, so let me teach you about albums. So there's 2 albums. It doesn't matter what order you do it in. Let's talk about the leftover album, okay? And I tell these people during the video all the time, I'm like, if you missed live jewelry from earlier, just get on my text alerts and you can see them tomorrow in my album. That keeps me from watching the replay. That's a huge, huge time saver. And everything in my everything I do with my jewelry is very regimented. So I'm not digging and searching, because when I have to start doing special requests, it eats up my time so fast. And that probably happens to you guys too. So that way, if I'm live and somebody said, did you have this? I'll say, go look at my albums tomorrow and you'll see it, or whatever. So I love albums. And so with the leftover album, on this thing, it's called album number 2, but I'll just tell you, you need to post your jewelry that's available, and you need to let your customers know how many pieces you have available. So the way I like to do it is I like to take pictures, and not everybody's going to agree with this because the pictures sound like they would take longer, but in my opinion, it makes my albums unique to me. So when people see my post and they scroll through, they'll be like, oh yeah, that's Lisa. And I think it saves time in the long run, and I'll explain why. So when you take pictures, I have Julie Sanford on my team has a really good video about pictures. So if you guys want to go to YouTube and search for Julie Sanford Paparazzi photos, you can watch her video. But basically you take your own photos, or you can do this with stock photos and use a computer. But there's something I do special on all these photos. And this is for your albums, okay? And we're talking about the leftovers album first. So, you guys have seen, again, like you guys are gonna be like, oh yeah, because if you shop from me, you'll know. When I take pictures of my jewelry, it is, like here's my leftover gold bracelets, okay? It is already open. That right there is a big time saver. It's already open for a photograph. We never close this again until it sells. So it's all ready to go. When I put this on my table or my wood or whatever, It's going to sit on the surface, and then I put 2 important pieces of information in this photograph. The first one is the color, and I'm not going to sit and look for gold, but the first one I put is the color, so we'll pretend it's pink. And the second information I put is how many are for sale. If I can find one. 17. Okay. All of my photos have this information, pink, and then how many available. There's 2 reasons for this. One is when you post your album, if you have to sit and type every color, and if you don't type the color, it's a little bit of a disservice because your customers can't always tell the color. So I think putting the color is important. And then how many available is really important, but people don't read the descriptions. Have you guys noticed that? They really don't read the descriptions. So having it in the photo, it's no one to blame. If they try to claim something that's already sold because there's only one available, there's no question because it was in your photograph. Okay? So that's how I like to take photos. So you take photos of all your jewelry. If you decide to do it from stock photos, you can search Google for pictures. If I can't find a picture in 5 seconds, I take a picture. So I kind of quit searching for them. I just take photos all the time. And photos are easy to do if you set your camera up on a tripod, and you can buy a little remote for like $3 and you can just snap the pictures. It's pretty quick. Then after you take the pictures, you're going to have another box. Okay. I keep telling you guys to use these boxes. You're going to have another box that you're going to label album with the date that you're posting it. So album May 23rd. And then what you can do is you can put the jewelry that you've taken pictures of in the box in order that you took the pictures. Okay, so we'll use a little box, for example, because honestly, sometimes what I do is I'll put the necklaces in the large box, and then I'll put earrings in one of these, bracelets in one of these, because it helps in finding the jewelry down the road. But let's say we took a picture, and then I just put the baggie of jewelry right here. So I'm going to just start piling up all the pictures. My albums have 100 things in them on average. Some have 80, some have 150, but on average, I like to post about 100 variety of items. Okay, so then you have all the pictures taken, and then you get all your jewelry together in order, and you label the box, and then you save that box in your album section. My album boxes are under my desk. You should only have 2 or 3 albums open at a time because you want the scarcity effect. And you guys, I tried this. I had these beautiful albums full of tons of jewelry by color, and I put all my inventory in. This is a couple years ago. And they get stale, if that's a good word, because people don't see that they're brand new. They think they've already seen what's available, or they think it's picked over. So I think it's imperative that you put an album up, get people excited, and take it down. And I usually keep mine up about 10 days. And that's even a little long because sometimes finding stuff for old albums is hard. And so even a week would be fine to keep them up. Okay. Then when you upload your album, you're going to, if you don't know how to do albums, you're going to have to look it up. But when you upload your album, I suggest using a computer, not your phone. And if you can't get them from your phone to the computer, you can use a cord, like a USB cord. Or you can, I have mine automatically go to my Google Photos, and then I download them from the website. So however you can get them to your computer, and then when you use a Facebook page, it keeps your photos in order when you upload the album. Okay? When you use a group, I used to use groups up until like 2 months ago, and then I changed, and it's just as good. It's almost easier because you can look up stuff by customer. Excuse me, I'll have to do a training on that someday. But use a computer, use your business page for your photos, albums, and then create a description, okay? And let me show this part to you, okay? So Gotta take my phone off of the tripod. Now I'm just gonna do a quick version because the training will take forever if I do everything, but let me flip my camera. Flip. Okay. So on my computer, look at that, not enough memory. On my computer, I'm gonna go to my business page. I'm just going to show you quickly the advantage of doing an album on your computer and on your business page. If you try to do it in a group, it gives me an error every time when I do more than about 60 photos. It still works, but it gives me an error. I tapped the wrong button. Okay, here we go. So you go to photos here. And then we're going to go here. So here's my current albums right here. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to hit create album. And then you have to grab the photos. So when I download the photos to my computer, I label it with the date. Oh, this is one I didn't do photographs. Let me find one with photographs. Desktop. Okay, here's one from August. So here's all my photos, and that's before we started doing colors. But anyway, I'm going to hit select all, open, and then what happens is it starts uploading every single photo. Like I've done albums with 180 things. It's pretty great. Then you put the description in here, whatever you want it to say. You can look at mine if you want, but just say, you know, $5, comment mine, blah, blah, blah. Then you copy it and you paste it. Paste, 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 paste. And you just paste it in a million places. You don't have to go through and say a word about your jewelry because you already have the quantity and you already have the color. Okay? So if you decide to use your phone, I think the app lets you upload 30 pictures at a time, but then that messes up the element of surprise. So see, so you would just go in here and copy and paste every single thing. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Okay, let me flip this back. But the element of surprise is important, I think. So what happens is I'll upload my whole album and then I'll instantly send out my text alert. There we go. And then it's fair. Like my customers can hurry and go on and shop. And you know how we are with new releases? We're like, I think my customers do that. It's pretty cool. And it's exciting because you might be the first one to get something really good. So it keeps your customers excited about your jewelry, okay? Let's see. Okay, something else you can do. This is a really cool idea. I just wanted to include it. You can add a captive audience photo. When you are, let's see if I can turn this. When you are posting an album on Facebook with your jewelry in it, people are swiping. And they're like, swipe, 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 and they're looking at all the jewelry until they find one they like. Well, in there, you can mix in a photo. So like if it says, like for my fundraiser, I could have put in my album, I could have put a graphic that said, fundraiser on Monday, come join us. And then they swipe and they look at more jewelry. So it gives people, it's like free advertising for yourself. Just don't do it too much. I would put 1 or 2 in a full album. I wouldn't do a ton because then it just becomes an advertisement. So that's something that may help you. I'll take questions at the end because, well, a few questions at the end of the organizing part because I cover a lot in here, so hopefully you guys will get your questions answered. Okay, so that's how you do the leftover album. Then I recommend to my team that they do 2 albums a week. That's what I do anyway. And so my second album, since it's not my leftovers from live, is my singles that I told you guys about and random colors. So I might pull out half of my orange stuff and half of my green stuff and half of my yellow stuff and put those in the album and mix them together. I would not recommend doing like all gold because what if somebody doesn't like gold? They're not even going to look. If you make your stuff random and not organized, then they're going to be compelled to look at everything. So that's just a marketing trick. So that's how you deplete the color storage I told you about. you're going to be pulling it and putting it in your albums, or you're going to be pulling it during live if you run out of live jewelry. And after, for me, after about 6 to 8 weeks, my color albums are depleted, and then I'll be replenishing them, and I'll explain that. So let me talk about the additional storage real quick. So I told you guys that we have the color storage, and we have the working storage, which is like your albums that are sitting under your desk because they're posted at the moment. And then we have the long-term storage. So what happens is when your albums die, when you're done selling out of your albums after 10 days or so, you're gonna delete them from your Facebook, and you're gonna get those boxes complete and intact and put them in long-term storage. So there's 3 sections, and you can put them all in a closet. I have mine piled up in a garage because I will be pulling from those later, because when my color jewelry gets depleted, I go to my long-term storage, sort by color, and put them in my colored storage. Does that make sense? So everything gets cycled. A piece of jewelry begins, if it doesn't sell somewhere in there, if a piece of jewelry begins at new jewelry, then it goes to an album, then it goes to long-term storage, then it goes to colors, then it goes to album or live again, long-term storage, album or live, long-term storage, back and forth until it sells. I've shown some jewelry like 8 times and then it finally sells. So you just have to cycle it, because you're always getting different customers, and some people don't see it the first time and they think it's fresh the next time you show it. Okay? Isn't that cool? That's the whole trick, is that cycling thing I just told you. So I have a short-term storage and a long-term storage because I have so much jewelry. So it just depends on the room you have and how long it takes you to use up your colored storage. Additional storage you might need, I have a place for Starlit Shimmer. I just put that in when I feel like it. I have a place for hair accessories. I pull those into albums when I feel like it. I have a place for repo, which is orders that were not paid. I pile it up and then I do a repo album, and my customers freak out over that. Those are really fun. I have a repair place, because I don't sit and repair stuff because I'm all about saving time. I'll do them one day, but I have a repair section. I have a fashion fix section. So sometimes if I have a smaller album and I run out of stuff to put on there, I'll pull up some old fashion fix. And life of the party, same thing. Life of the party, I usually cycle back into live. And when I do take pictures and stuff, sometimes I sell in sets, sometimes I'll match sets. So if I pull out orange, I'll make like an orange bracelet and necklace set and put $10 on the photo, and then the picture and how many sets I have available. The pinned post doesn't always work on your phone, so you have to write it down. I know it's kind of dumb. So there's better ways to do it, but I don't know how to do it. That's a future video, by the way. I actually do know how to do it, but I didn't have time to set it up. Okay, so the albums you guys understand, I think. When you do your leftover album, include surprises, because if your live people think it's only live leftovers, they're not going to look at it. So every time I post an album, I'll say multiples plus surprise jewelry, and then it gets all my live people to come back and all my album people to come back. I have to put that on. Okay, so we just have a little bit left of the organizing part, which is good because I don't want to keep you guys up all night. Okay, so when you're done, you've gone live and you've gathered jewelry and you've put them in people's envelopes. Then you've posted albums and you're just going to wait for them to shop. You don't need to like do anything. You don't need to go on and say, you got it, every minute you hear a notification. Do it within your schedule. So I'll post an album today, and then tomorrow at 9 a.m. is when I gather the jewelry and tell them they got it. So keep yourself on a schedule. It really helps. So when you fulfill your orders from your albums, scroll through the photos in order, because you put them in order in your box. And then it'll be a little easier to find the jewelry. And then you just pull, and you guys have done this before, but you pull and put it in their bag. So you have this culmination of orders that you're going to gather with all these different envelopes, and it's going to get full. Now here's what's cool about this. I love this part. One week, I may have 1 box, but maybe the next week I get more customers. I have 2 boxes. You guys, sometimes I have 9 boxes of these. Last week I had 6. This week I think I had 6. So it changes. And so like the cubby system is not my favorite as far as pulling customers' orders because it is permanent. A permanent fixture, like a shoe holder or whatever is a permanent fixture. And if you're not using it, it's in your way. And if you run out of room, what do? But this can be changed back and forth to a small amount of customers to a giant amount of customers with no extra cost. Okay, that's my favorite. I love that. Something else I do when I don't use barcodes, and I am addicted to the barcode thing, so if you guys want to learn that part, I'll teach it. I'm teaching it second. But when we put the orders in, we actually tally mark them, because if you tally mark them, you don't have to count it later. So what happens is, let's say I'm live and Lisa Abercrombie buys something, okay, and I put her bracelet in here. I will also get a Sharpie and just put a little tally mark. That's it. So what happens is every time I put something in a bag, I put a tally mark, and by the end of the week, I can look and see that Lisa has 7 things that she bought, and I can invoice instantly. That way you don't have to dump them all out and count them, okay? The only orders that I would dump out and fix are full ones, so you can make the jewelry as pretty and make sure the jewelry is pretty inside the bag. But if there's like 10 or less, the jewelry's just in the bag anyway. Something else, if you do sell the last item, put it back in the bag. Then you don't have to pay for bags and you don't have to throw away a bag. You just put it back in the bag. Now it's ready for whoever bought it, okay? So I keep all the bags, I put them all back, use them up. I don't ever buy, I mean, I have them in case I have jewelry that was on a pegboard, but I don't even use pegboards anymore. So repackage and reuse the stuff because you can, right? Okay, let's see. So I taught you about tally marking. For me, I invoice once a week, and so on Wednesday when I invoice, I will check the old albums and see if anybody else claimed anything. Because I will check all my albums, so I'll go through album 1, go through album 2, and then check my old albums and just gather all the claims. Then I have a Google Sheet. This one you're going to have to imagine because I don't want to show you all my customers' names, but I have instructions here that tell you how to do it, okay? You're going to create a Google Sheet. If you don't know this about Google, look it up. You can get a Google account for free. It's the same as Gmail. And they have free word processing like Microsoft, but it's Google and it's online. And the coolest thing is that it's online. So if I have to make a note, I have a Google Sheets app on my phone and I can go in and make a note. So if I'm at a baseball game, I can make a note and not lose it. I can put everything where it belongs, all in one place. So yeah, if the URL doesn't work, just write it down and you can get it later, because I'm not going to email them until this is all over. Okay. So on your master list, this is, people don't all do this, and it's really, really great. On your master list, you're going to have 2 columns, okay? This is a spreadsheet. On column A, you're going to have the Facebook name. And on the Facebook name, write it exactly how it shows on Facebook. Caps don't matter, but if they have a hyphen or a space, make sure you include that, just so you can identify this person again. I only have like 2 people with identical Facebook names. Otherwise, it's really, really easy to like keep track of all your customers. And then column B is their email address. That's all you need. I don't use Postable. If I used Postable, I'd be spending additional time retyping things. So I keep this all in Excel or in Google Sheets. I probably am going to have to show you my Google Sheets in a minute because I'm going to show you how I invoice in bulk. Column C is going to be the date that you sold stuff, okay? And this is a working file. It's like a master list. And so my customer list is up to about 1,400 people, because you can resort it and get to what you need to get to. And you can keep all of your old orders in the past on this master list. So if I have a customer who says, I forgot that I bought jewelry and it's not here yet. How many did I buy last week? I can look it up. So it's a master list. I love it. Then I have somebody, you can do this alone, but it's faster if somebody reads it to you. I will have somebody tell me the totals of all of these envelopes with tally marks when it comes time to invoice. So some people use Postable and Square. That's where you have to retype. But I use PayPal and only email addresses. Also with Postable, if you retype people's address and you mess up, it's your fault. If you use PayPal, it's their fault because they type it. I'm just a huge PayPal fan. Okay. Okay, so let me show you my computer screen. This is the last of the organizing. Let me show you how I invoice in bulk. I'll just do a quick version. And then when you're all done, and when it's been a week or however long you give people to pay, just get all your unpaid orders and you can repo them. Put them in your repo pile for a future album. Okay, that's how you recycle the repo jewelry. And then once it goes in an album, and if it doesn't sell, it'll end up in your rotation system. Okay, so let me show you again. I wonder if there's a quick way to do this. I guess I'll just hold my phone. Let me show you how I do PayPal. Again, this is quick. I'm not tech support, so if this doesn't make sense, you'll have to look it up somewhere. I hope to have a training one day, but right now, just see if this helps you. Okay, so let's go to, let me re-log into PayPal. My computer doesn't like me because, there we go. So in about 10 minutes, I'm going to be doing the barcode part of this after I show you guys how to do this. Oh, whoops, it didn't work. Hold on. Okay, let me get to my invoicing screen. Invoicing. Okay, let me show this to you. This is super cool. If you're not using an invoicing template, you need to be. Invoicing templates save you loads and loads of time. The other thing I would recommend is that you don't send pictures of every single thing people bought. It's their job to remember, I think. So when I do it, I just say how many pieces they bought, okay? So if you do it this way with just a piece of jewelry, not really saying what it is, then this goes really, really fast. So let me show you guys. Okay, here's my master list. So over here is their email. I'm not going to show you. Here's their Facebook name. And then here is, well, that's an unpaid list I made. Let me delete that and show you. So May 8th, I inserted a column called May 8th. So these are all my old dates of invoicing, and it shows how much people bought and when I invoiced them and stuff. Like this goes back like 2 years or something. It's really cool. So you have a master list, and it helps you to put your jewelry in. So what happens is the first thing I would do when, and this is all on the notes, okay? When it comes time to transfer the totals from the envelopes to this program, you click the corner up here, this corner little square, and then you hit data, sort range, header row, and then you say that you want to sort by Facebook name and push sort. So then what happens is I have everybody's name here, and when my family or someone reads me all of the names. So let's pretend it's May 23rd. May 23rd. Okay, so when somebody reads me the names, I just go like this, and I type 4, 5, whatever they got, 2, and I just type 2, and I type in their totals. Okay, 4. And then if there's something, some special note, I'll put like 25, free shipping, like that, like that. So I just go down and I type all the totals, okay? So far, so good. Hopefully this makes sense. Yeah, thanks you guys. I know it's late. It is going to be recorded, no problem. And we're almost ready to move to the barcodes. Okay, so once those are done, then let me show you what you do next. Let me find a better day that has a lot of people. So pretend you typed all of those in. What you do is, let me just paste this real quick. Okay, we're going to sort again, just like I showed you. So we're going to hit data, sort. If you have a second email address, yes, you can have a second PayPal account. Then we're going to sort by the date. Pretend that's the one we're on. And then look what happens. All of our 1s are together. All of our 2s are together. All of our 3s are together, and so on. So then all you have to do is grab all of these emails, all of our 1s, which I can't even get that far. But we'll just grab that many. So we grab all of our 1s, copy, go to PayPal, click in here, paste. There's all our people, and then put how many they were, if it was 1 or 2 or whatever. If it's 1, let's pretend that's correct. And then you just hit send, and it sent all of those, all 10 or all 20 or whatever, okay? So that is the basics on invoicing. But batch invoicing like that saves me so much time. I send about 150 invoices a week. So batch invoicing is crucial. Okay, all right. Let's do questions for about 3 minutes. And then we've been live for, okay, we are going to continue the barcode video on this video. I'll split them up for YouTube, but we're going to do the barcode video here, okay? All right, so any questions if you have, I'll take them for about 3 minutes and then we're going to move on to barcodes. All of these little things, if you guys need help doing them, I have a, I guess just send me a message if you have any training request videos I can make in the future. Just let me know. I did that so fast. That multiple invoicing is the bomb. Work your way backwards when you do that. Go from your highest quantity to the lowest. PayPal has to catch up. So if you send 20 invoices with 1 and 20 invoices with 2 and 20 invoices with 3, PayPal will start giving you errors. So go backwards and do the highest amounts first where there's less people, and then work your way up the list. And then that way Facebook won't, or PayPal won't freeze on you. My particular schedule is I post an album Monday. I go live Monday night twice. I post an album Tuesday. I invoice Wednesday, and I ship Thursday. That allows me to take off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and most of Thursday. I love it. And I could work more if I wanted to, but I need to spend the time on my team too, so it works out. Earlier somebody asked, I usually show about 150 items in 4 hours, if that helps you. If you need a Google account, just go to gmail.com and you can create a Google account. And that's where you can go to sheets.google.com to create these things. You can use Excel if you want, but I would suggest Google since it's online. Let's see. There's not a way to batch invoice if you have to have specifics, because multiplies the same invoice. I go live twice on Monday because I don't want to go live twice on another day. So, and I get just as many sales because it hits a different group of people because of the time. Okay. All right. Are you guys ready for barcodes?